Welcome to the Dad's Nerdy Ambitions podcast. I'm your host, Steve Pugh. I get to have another amazing, impeccable guest on my show. Just as always, I love doing the spooky stuff. We are in the spooky season. I have Kyle Pasciuti of Decimated Designs on the show. Hello.
Hello.
So before we welcome you truly on the show, we should kind of introduce who you are. Now, nobody can introduce themselves better than you can introduce yourselves, but I'm going to try here for just a second. You are the creator, you are the lead designer of Decimated Designs, which is this amazing company that you've created, and I've got to check out and I've got to see some of your stuff. Is super cool. You guys do animatronics, you make monsters, you do music things, you do art things, you do like kinetic, you do so Terrificon. You created Captain Terrificon. You have created stuff for sporting events. You have done immersive monster hunt. You did the immersive monster hunt hayride creatures. You've done statues. You've done oversized props. Like, dude, is there anything you don't do?
The basics. Like we kind of hit a point where we said we almost can't describe what we do. So the best way to say it is we take the projects nobody else will. Like that's
I
kind of
like
it.
that.
Like, someone has a crazy idea, we're the people you come to.
Okay, I love that. So, Kyle, first off, welcome to the show. Second, now before we get into Decimated Designs, because I do want to talk about this company, this is really, really cool, and I'm super excited. Uh, and I have to give out a shout out to our good friend Joey, who set this up for us because we were sitting here talking about everything that he's been doing over at like Compounce, and he kept talking about you, and he kept saying, "Yeah, I've got this friend Kyle. He set us up. He did this. He let us use a studio," and I'm like, I volunteer as tribute. I'd love to talk to the guy. And he goes, no, we're not going to let you do that. And then no, he was so adamant actually about having you on the show. So shout out to Joey. Thank you so much, sir, for having,
Joey's
coming onto the show. He is the best. Nothing but love for that guy. So before we get into that, we need to know, like every good superhero, or maybe in your case, supervillain, your origin story, sir. So what made you decide to do stuff like this?
How far back do you want to go?
As far back as you need
All
to
right.
go. Were you
Okay.
sitting there at like 3 years old making stuff?
Well, it's funny you say that. 3 years old. My sister's birthday. When I was 3, my sister's birthday is November 1st because my mom refused. She said, I have to see Kyle in his Halloween costume. So her birthday, she refused to go to the hospital on Halloween. My sister's birthday is November 1st. So it goes that far back.
That's okay. That's props. That's all right. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Was there because you are obviously have been doing this for a long time, very long time, a lot
Long
longer
time.
than I was going to give you credit for. Was there just a time in your life where you just were creating something and you said, you know what, I want to do this for a living?
It's there wasn't a point. There have been a lot of like scary points of like, okay, we're doing this. Like even this year, there was another one of like, we're getting more space. I'm officially hiring employees for the first time was this year, rather than independent contractors.
Mm-hmm.
It's been just making the right decisions, or at least the best educated decisions the entire time. And a lot of it is just, you know, I, I graduated college in 2008, and immediately the market and every job went away.
Yeah.
And I scrambled and took little stuff. And then it was like, okay, well, then I kind of have to be a self starter.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of what had to happen. And it, I ended up with a business partner and stuff's going up and up. And then business partner steals from me. I only wanted to make things. I didn't want to run a company. I didn't want to be in charge of shipping or finances or any of that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, I am. And I took it on and I said, that's what has to happen. Excuse me.
You're fine.
And then, we start having a bunch of success and start doing all this stuff. And then COVID hits. And now we have to figure out a whole different line of things. And for years, I really thought that my company was headed in much more of a makeup direction.
Mhm.
And with everything that happened with COVID, all the restrictions, I got COVID safe trained. I bought all of the chemicals you need for cleaning and sterilizing and all the equipment and the masks and filtration systems. And then it comes back and it's like, no, everything is CGI now. Nobody's doing makeup. We're switching all to masks for everything. And there was just a couple years in there where we went, oh, okay, we're learning 3D printing. Great. We're going in that direction. And it's been this weave of I don't ever want to be stuck doing one thing.
Mhm.
I give the example of like The Walking Dead, right? If anybody, I'm sure somebody listening to this has
Oh,
watched The Walking Dead or an episode or two. Um, but you have you have a team that does a life cast. Then you
mhm.
have someone who sculpts a zombie face on it. Then you have somebody who does the mold, somebody who runs it, somebody who pre-paints it, somebody who applies it on set, somebody who takes it off set, and you just have this streamline. And that's not me. I'm not a cog in a machine. I always have to be learning. I always want to be doing something new, trying new things. And that's what this space is give me a challenge. I don't want just, okay, we're gonna do the thing that everybody else has done. I turn down so much work for people who come to me and go, hey, could you do this thing? And I go, oh, that's already been done. Here it is. Go buy it from them, support this artist, come back to me when you've got something crazier, when you really need us. That's not what we do, and I don't want to be there.
So you like taking on, you're like the house of like special effects and makeups and like like entertainment products, like these
I
animatronics
am
and
the
stuff.
I am the house, I am the MacGyver, I am the weird, like the weird. I know a lot. I know a very little bit about a lot of things.
Jack of
I
all
know
trade,
enough
master
to
of
be
none.
dangerous in
I
almost
love
any
that.
situation.
I like that. I love that. Um, kind of before I want to progress forward this, but I
Of
also
course.
want to look like what besides being a kid, for Halloween and everything, and with your sister being born November 1st, where was it? Are you well? Let's start with this. Are you originally from Connecticut or the New
I'm
England
not.
area? Where are you from
I was
originally?
born in Washington D.C.,
Okay.
which means I've got a weird social security number. Um, I lived in Maryland
Okay.
until between third and fourth grade. Moved here fourth grade, and it sucks when you move, really, as a
Yeah.
kid. And it was theater that really pulled me out of the funk.
Okay.
And I kind of ever since then I kind of always go back to I like theater. I like live things. I'm not a musicals person. I'm not even really like a music like an actor nerd or any of this stuff. I like just the idea that this thing is taking place in real time in front of you. You're breathing the same air, and every single thing has to go perfect. It is a Rube Goldberg machine of entertainment.
I like that. Uh, I was my reason for going that I was like, where you're taking your inspirations from,
Mhm,
kind of like so like Joey's from Rhode Island. The Eldritch
mhm.
horror is like definitely a vibe thing for
Yeah.
him. I'm very well traveled, so from my Navy days, I got like 32 countries under my belt, so I've gotten to cherry pick like things from other cultures. Very, very, really fun. Uh, but it sounds like from what I'm gathering from you right now is you are the environmentalist. You like putting immersion and putting us into those environments with it, and
Yeah.
that's where you strive. And I love that on a much smaller level. When I do my D&D games, I love having the terrain set up. I like setting the mood with certain lighting and smells and music playing in there to kind of immerse my players into it, because that's you've got a DM's point of view of this. Do you play D&D by any chance, or any kind of like tabletop RPGs?
I have. I'm not
Okay.
not on any kind of consistent basis.
Okay. No, no, no.
I did start writing one
Okay.
that we
I
can
love
talk
that.
about it
Good.
at off camera at some
Yes.
point.
Yes, we can't let them know
Yes,
about it. Yes.
it was like
But no, it's you get the you get the same joy that I get from it, because we're we're it's I don't want to call it voyeurism, but it's kind of like we
It
get
is.
pleasure from other people's pleasure. Like they get excited about it, they get really into it. That's the joy. That's what we get out of these kind of things. And so, like you and Joey are like and me are all in that same. We're in that same mentality. You love to see the reactions that people get out of the things that you have put your blood, sweat, and tears into. Um,
I so we have, and I'm sure we'll get there. We have a new haunted house out this year. I'm sure you and
mhm,
Joey talked about it. I went, I don't look for people and ask like, "Hey, did you like it?" All this kind of stuff. I like to sit back.
mhm.
You can call it the voyeurism, but there is something special about, okay, I've put this person in an environment that is so encapsulating that there's nothing else. They're not thinking about work. They're not thinking about politics. They're not thinking about the anything. Whether it, haunted houses, I mean, you can see I keep coming back to haunted houses, but
That's okay.
just a little bit. You know, if you want love, if you want romance, like all of these other emotions, you can go to Broadway, you can go and see a drama. You can't get fear. You can't get scared, and it's a primal emotion that you can't get really on a stage. You kind of need a haunted house, which is I consider theater, um, to put you in a place where you can just let go of everything else on your mind and go, I am here and this is terrifying.
I love that. See, for me though, it personally, I love haunted houses because I love to see what everybody's created and I love to see the costumes
Hmm.
and I love just walking through and because that's Christmas for me. I'm like the biggest giddiest person. Now, my wife on the other hand, she's a screamer and she
Hmm.
always makes the worst mistake. She puts me in front. And so I see the actors and I'll see them hide and I'm like, "Hey, she screams." And like they just like, "Sir, as you will," and then they will follow her, and I love that and I get so giddy and I get excited. And so to see the things that you guys create is chef's kiss. I love it, like truly from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate those things. And Project Nightmare is one of the coolest like new things that I got to see, and I'm excited because I'm going on the 25th, I think is the day. It's a Sunday. To go over and actually check it out. And so I'm super excited. I'm taking my wife and taking my kid, and he's just as demented in the head as me. So I love that. You know, so kind of going from there, going back to who you are,
Hmm.
um, because you are the creator of this, when you first started creating Decimated Designs and you started doing these things, was it just like a one man garage project, or did you go like full mad scientist lab and just like go ham with it?
Oh no, it was even before Decimated Designs, it was just me in a basement.
Hmm.
Um, and it was little stuff here and there. It was okay, I've got a day job.
Hmm.
I'm, you know, again, the recession has happened and uh just trying to figure out stuff and like, oh, people, it never occurred to me to start a company. Like that was just never in my mind. It was like, oh, somebody asked me for something. Somebody asked me in college for help with something. And then it was, oh, this thing I made for somebody, other people want it. Okay, well, let's make more of them. Let's see what's going on. And then, former business partner approached me and went, oh, if people want it, you should do it. We should do a thing together. Um, and then it it came full circle in that I had always loved haunted houses. I'd done charity haunted house as a kid. We turned the garage into a haunted house for UNICEF. It was what you can donate, go through, climb through a cardboard box with fishing line hanging down and masks and all that kind of stuff. And then kind of went into like cosplay and costumes and that kind of stuff, and then like got ripped back into haunted houses and then has slowly grown from like, well, if you can do this for a haunted house, you can do this for a film, you can do this for a wedding, you can do this for a bat mitzvah. Um, but what was the original question? I'm so
It's all good. No, that's all right. It was more just like, kind of how did you start out? Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's all good. It's
Um, there was a time I have a rule. I have a rule
uh
with the business that I will never do anything that I won't show my mom. That's the rule. But my mom was friends with oh, what's his name? Director of Hairspray.
I'm not a musical guy. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lie.
yeah. Everybody's
Wait, wait,
yelling
wait.
at their
Uh,
speaker right now.
no, right? Like, all right, we're
John
gonna do this.
Waters.
We're doing the
John
slide. Oh,
Waters.
okay. Yes.
So she knew John Waters in college. So the
Okay.
bar for what I will show my mom.
Yeah.
My dad,
That.
on the other hand, not so much. And we were doing a zombie comedy,
Mhm,
and there was a zombie phallus. I
mhm.
think it's a PG way of saying it. And my dad came down in the basement, still living at home,
Yeah.
and just started, hey, hey Kyle, how's it going? Oh, oh no. It's like, yeah, maybe it's time for me to get a different space. And that's really, you know, we needed a workshop. And once you have an address, it's weird how much things change when you have a physical address.
No.
Um, yeah. And then at some point, you haven't really seen around here, right? Joey didn't
No,
show you.
no.
Yeah, there is stuff everywhere on the walls. I mean, you can see my bookcase from here, but um
Yeah.
uh if you want to talk origin stories, Ghostbusters.
Love that.
Like I can look around and go Ghostbusters, 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 Ghostbusters. That's my, what
That's your
really
thing.
set me. That's my thing.
Yeah. Dude, that's a great thing to be like your inspirations, your muse, if you will, because
Hmm.
you have they did a lot of unique things with that movie. The puppeteering was amazing. The animatronics were absolutely amazing in that. The special effects, they were trying to do things that have never really truly been done before. The uh they were using old school like mirror methods for reflecting like ghosts and stuff like that. It's a film way ahead of its time and absolutely a blast. Plus, your whole cast, and it's just Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray.
Oh
You,
yeah.
you've got the classics in there. Sigourney Weaver, who was like the best in everything at that time, and then Rick Moranis, who is
Hmm.
making a comeback in the new Spaceball movie. So shout out
Right.
to that. Um, it's also a little tangent here. I know we're not musical guys here, but there is a musical that has turned 50 years today, or not today, but has turned 50 years.
Oh, is
Uh,
that Rocky?
Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Which I did see in a theater, and I did have the whole experience. So
Hmm.
if you guys can, listeners, if you have never had the Rocky Horror Picture Show experience,
Oh,
you
what are
need to
you
go to a
waiting
theater.
for?
Absolutely. You have to go do it. There's nothing like getting on stage and getting a little bit embarrassed and having a real fun time and then watching the dancing, throwing toast
Okay.
and
I have
oh,
a
yeah, go
whole
for it.
circular tangent.
Go for it.
Whole
That's what we're
circular
here
tangent.
for.
Okay. It was in college. So when I say that when I got out of college and started making things for people, I had made myself a Stay Puft suit and I somehow got college credit for it and put it up online. And that's one of the things that people started ordering from me. I figured
Love
out
that.
patterns to make it out of foam that you could get at Joann's and all this
Mhm.
kind of stuff. And then I got approached to make it for some of the New York City Ghostbusters had created their own group called the Minions of Gozer, and they did a Rocky Horror style shadow cast. So I got to play Stay Puffed in a shadow cast in New York City, down the street from the firehouse.
Oh, dude, that's a high five moment right there. Like
Yeah,
that is a high five moment, man. Like, oh
and
my
midnight
God, that's
showing,
so
of
cool.
course, midnight.
Of course, you've gotta. Oh, I love Rocky Horror Picture Show, and like even though I don't do musicals really, that's just like up there exception because one, it's Tim Curry, dude, like, and that
Oh, of
movie is
course.
just like the best. But uh, yeah, no, I did see like the one of your rough design. I don't know if it was a rough design or if it was like I saw something of the Stay Puffed, like the
Hmm.
head and everything on your website, and I thought that was actually very cool. But you have gotten to create some stuff for like some like at least locally big stuff, as well as you got to do for the cricket match uh
Yes.
back in 2024. uh like how does it make you feel knowing that these things that you've created that you have brought into fruition have had such an impact on not only nerd culture but like culture itself, the world of sports, which is, it's absolutely insane.
It's great. I mean, there's nothing I've created that has gone on to be like a phenomenon.
Mm,
I'm still playing in the realm of like um recreating things for others and people coming to us with ideas. Project Nightmare is really the biggest one that we got to like take the reins
mm,
and go, okay, here's an idea of what we want to do, and they said, we like this part, we like this part, we don't like this part, go.
mm,
But the cricket balls was an advertising campaign that somebody else came up with.
mm.
Um,
You still created it, dude.
oh, we
Like
still
don't
did.
don't
It's still,
hu-
and
don't
it's
hu-
no, no,
don't
no, no,
down
no.
yourself here at all. My gosh.
And I mean, I know nothing about cricket. I had to look things up and learn what the game is. But I look up and there's some gigantic cricket star that's taking a picture with something we built, and people are going nuts for it, and I'm going, okay, that's cool. To a huge section of the world, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, did you happen to see the film I shot in India?
I did not.
So
No.
just out of COVID,
Uh-huh.
again, makeup times, really heavy into the makeup stuff. Um, we had started talking before COVID hit, and I ended up going. I was one of the first people to go back to India when they opened the borders to shoot this movie, Kumari, and it is on Netflix. It is not in English.
Okay, I'm
Um,
down.
one of my favorite things I've ever done, and I'm over there and shooting, and it's great, and everybody's wonderful. And then I go back to the hotel, and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing in our country?" Like, I'm like, "Oh, I'm here to shoot a film. Oh, anybody in it?" And I name the main actress, and they're like, "What? You're you're working with her? But she's in our city. She's here." And I'm like, "Yeah, she's a great person." And come to find out, she's like I don't even know. She's like 22 or 23, and she's like an international model. She's a doctor, and she's producing and starring in this film. She's like crazy high level of like
That's
esteem over
freaking
there.
awesome.
And I'm like, hey, do you know that you're kind of a big deal? And it's just, to me, it's just like she's a cool person that I met and I'm working
I
with and
love
doing
that.
stuff. Which is how I try to, whenever I end up with celebrities and those kinds of people, you just be like, hey, you're just a cool person.
That's
You treat
awesome.
them like you can't go into it with that whole thing.
Mm.
To bring it back to Ghostbusters, that's going to be our theme today, I think.
Ghostbusters. I love that.
Ghostbusters. Um, After I did the Shadowcast,
Uh-huh.
uh, I had my binder of work, and I had brought it to. There's a show called Trans World, which is the world's largest haunted house and Halloween trade show.
Yes.
You know it.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Oh
I
yes.
see
Yeah,
I see the
100%.
CFX in the back, so I'm like, he must have an idea.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. And they're
Yeah.
such great people too, by the way. I love
Yes.
them.
So CFX is great. So I'm at Trans World, and we've got our booth, and I've got
Uh-huh.
my binder, and a guy comes up to the table and starts flipping through it, and he sees Stay Puffed. And he goes, "Oh, was this licensed?" And I go, "Uh-oh, no." And he goes, "Do you want it to be?" Yeah. Are you kidding? Yes. What can I do? And so it started, we were talking for 6 months. He was putting in an immersive Ghostbusters attraction in New York City. Full thing. It was going to be just mind-blowingly cool. And we got all like it was we were within 2 weeks of getting the deposit on building a Stay Puff, multiple Stay Puff costumes, a giant Stay Puff statue, a Slimer costume, all of this stuff, and it all got tanked, completely wiped off the board
Oh
because
no.
they announced the answer the call, the female Ghostbusters, and they said we don't want any marketing for any of the old stuff. So I cannot be neutral on that movie, and I'm sorry. It's a good movie. I shouldn't talk about it because it wrecked a childhood dream for me.
Oh no.
But they built one of these
Mm,
in Dubai. It's not as immersive, but it's the same kind of ride that they were building.
uh,
And so my flight to India for this movie, on the way back, I was going to spend a week in Dubai and go see it. And then all of us got COVID. So that week that I was
oh.
supposed to see the Ghostbusters ride that could have been, I was stuck. I mean, very lovely hotel, great food, skyline, pool on the roof, but quarantining away before I could travel back.
Oh, that's the worst. Uh, that's the most awesome and most heartbreaking story ever. Also, I'm on your side. I'm was it the all-female crew Ghostbusters
Mhm.
movie? So I I personally, and this is going to probably get me some hate for this. I wasn't a fan of it, not because it was an all-female cast. I just wanted to see something. I wanted them to see like them passing on the torch versus
Mhm.
them trying to remake it, and that was my beef with it. And I was like, yeah. So when they did the ones with the kids and everything, I was like, okay, I'm on board with this because
Sure.
now they are passing on
Mhm.
the torch, and it feels good. It feels
Right.
like they went in the right direction. Though, yeah, that's oh, dude, my heart for you, my dude. Like,
Yeah.
it breaks. That's like, oof.
Yeah.
That's
What could have been.
oh, the what ifs. Oh, I hate when that happens. I've had a few of those and still maybe under some NDAs from those, but like,
Mhm.
it's I get that. Oh, my dude. Um, so you know, kind of talking, going back to this. So you enjoy it. You guys have worked on this on Project Nightmare, and this was like
Yes.
a very and the fact that, and I'll say, I told Joey this, and I will tell you this, dude. The fact that you guys were able to like create, like come up with this idea, create this thing, and put it together and set it up in 3 months, let alone 10 days of like
Did the
actual
10-day
setup,
install. Yeah.
like installation. My God, dude. Uh, first off, kudos to you. Second, like drink your coffee because you've definitely earned a coffee because I can only imagine how like drained you were from that.
Oh yeah.
Uh, like, dude, he was telling me all this, and like, what was going through your mind? Like, you got told like, hey, you guys got the green light, and you got 3 months, go.
Yeah. It was on my birthday. We got the green light on my birthday.
Okay.
Um and it was like, okay, face turns red, all my blood goes up here. Not I'm just not going to hey everybody, we got it. Let's go have some cake and ice cream. Um yeah, I mean it was again it's a process and you just take it one thing at a time. This is the most out of control I've ever been.
Mhm.
It's the most trust I've had to put in other people. It's the first time where I wasn't building or in control of the majority of things.
Mhm.
I was overseeing, I was problem solving and making sure my job really was just to get all of the problems out of everybody else's way on this project so that they could do their best work. And that's kind of how I ended up viewing it In the beginning, I thought like, oh, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make this. No, your day to day just ends up in meetings and paperwork and numbers and all kinds of stuff. And I think because I have done a little bit of everything, I
Mhm.
know what needs to happen and I can see some of the problems ahead better than somebody who is just, oh, I want to be a manager. What?
Mhm.
Oh, it doesn't matter what I'm managing. All managing's the same. No, not on something like this. Um, so it, it's a marathon. It's a marathon with little sprints, and those 10 days I quite literally treated it as if I was in a marathon. I started taking protein. I started taking creatine in the morning. I started taking anti-inflammatories because there is so much caffeine in my system, and I'm even though again I'm in charge of um, all of the business side and the paperwork and all that, I was still moving thousands of pounds of wood and animatronics and, lifting, 100 pounds over my head to get something so that somebody can screw it in place. Um, it's my happy place.
I
It's,
love that.
it's, I, there's a certain state of controlled chaos that I thrive in.
Mhm.
Um, if I have downtime, it is downtime. I don't do anything. I'm not one of these people who can go, "Oh, I've got a couple of hours, I'm going to sketch something." I need there to be almost too much to handle.
I get
And
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where um I thrive, and you've got people around me who are going, "I don't know if we're going to make it. This is insane." Whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, guys, this is it. We're problem solvers. You
Yeah.
get to have a challenge that nobody else can do, and you get to solve it. What
It's a
you want to be?
rush.
You want to be at a desk right now? No. Look around you. And especially with this one, we're outside. If you've been to Lake Compounce, we're looking at the water. We've got birds. I chased a goose through the haunt at one point to be like, hey, could you go over that way? I really don't want poop in this room right now. Um, so it's, there was in college, there was graffiti in the bathroom that
Hmm.
I've looked up. I can't tell you who it's from, but it is from somebody famous, and it somehow ended up as graffiti in the bathroom. Um, Theater is life, cinema is art, and television is furniture. And I mean, I would say cinema and television, that was before, we got all these epic things, and television became more of an art form that, now that it is. But it's kind of true. Theater is life. And I've done shows where you have to rig timers on waffle makers so that the waffles are going to get cooked to the right time and pop at the right dialogue point, and they're about to be eaten on stage. My first show in college started with somebody peeing on the stage. And for real. So now I've learned cooking, a little bit of cooking, a little bit of electronics, how a toaster works. I've learned sanitation methods. I've learned upholstery. I've learned like the things you learn doing theater and doing what I do is life. At some point, like I know somebody who can pick almost any lock because that's something they had to have because they kept getting locked out of electronics cabinets, and when something went wrong in a theater and nobody knew where the person with the key was, and so it's this weird thing of life. We did the largest haunted house in New York City. for 3 years straight. My team set it up, and we weren't running it. There was a different owner, or I mean, sorry, we were running it. We didn't own
Mhm.
it. There was an owner.
Mhm.
But one day we called a code brown, which is somebody messed
Took a
themselves,
poo.
and we're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, we scared the ever loving
Yeah.
poo out of them. And then it got worse. And it got worse and it got worse. And we finally figured out, we opened a wall panel. We were in the old Ripley's Believe It or Not in Times Square. And there was a drain pipe, and the smell was coming up from the drain. And the owner comes over and goes, I'm gonna have to spend $50,000 on plumbing and all this kind of stuff. And we go, no, you don't you just gotta pour water in it. What do you mean? Water's gonna stop that smell? Yeah, the catch has dried. It's been sitting here behind a wall panel, and it evaporated, and that sewer gas that's coming up, you just got to pour a bucket of water, we'll be fine. He didn't know that. That's not something that somebody in New York City runs into a lot. That's one of these things that I call life, that I have picked up along the way, of that was a problem somewhere, and now that's an extra skill.
You know
So
what I'm taking from this conversation right now is for everybody out there that is under the age of 18 and going through life, eventually you need to take theater so you can get
yeah,
some proper life
yeah,
skills.
yeah.
I love that.
I
I love
think
that. You
I
get the
think that
arts and
everybody should be doing theater, and the people doing theater should do haunted houses. I don't think everybody should do haunted houses, but
fair.
everybody should do theater, and if you're doing theater, you should do a haunted house.
I love that. I love that. Um, so you and Joey collaborate together, and you have collaborated on this amazing project here. Uh, I know Joey's brain kind of works like mine. Joey's brain is scary to me because, like, I, I've told him, like, my friend Kevin, who and he'll admit this. He's my co-host on the show sometimes, but he's flatline brain. Like it's just empty space. He loves that. It's just completely like quiet ground. You know, like in the Lego movie where like they go into like Emmett's brain and it's just like nothingness. He goes,
Mm,
that's me, and I'm happy there. And then
mhm.
he says my brain is absolutely chaos because I'm a very active thinker. I am to Joey what Kevin is to me. Like I am like not nearly as chaotic thinking as he is. And so he's able to come up with these great stories and I love that. And so when you guys collaborate, are you just like active brain thinking too, or do you guys like synergize in a certain way? Where's the symbiotic relationship?
It's a synergy. It
Uh,
is not. We're not like, we do ping off each other in a lot of stuff.
mm,
I One of my other big influences is the Mythbusters.
love that.
And when you look at them, they approach things from two completely different perspectives. And that's kind of how we do it, is um a lot of the times I'll just say we work really, really well together because
Mhm.
our brains are different. He fills in a lot of the stuff that I don't have, and I
Mm,
fill in a lot of the stuff that, he doesn't have.
mhm,
Um it's I I have a hard time working in a vacuum.
mm,
I consider myself more of a collaborator than just an artist. On my own, yeah, I can do some things, sure. But you put me with the right people, and that's where I lock in and I go, okay, there's this, but what if you did this?
mhm.
It's really that power boost, that amplification, and having me giving people ideas, and people giving me ideas. It's hard to, it's Creativity is a hard thing. Um, what Joey can do is amazing. You know, I I cannot draw. I can sculpt a little bit. I can work in a 3D space. I have I have a little bit more, I would say, more of an engineering brain than he does.
Mm.
Um, and it really is that synergy, like you were kind of saying. of you put the two of us together and there's like nothing we can't do. Whereas on our own, okay, he leans towards that, I lean towards this.
I feel like you guys have it. I mean, I'm absolutely going to put you like kind of not like say like put you in a corner here, but I'm going to say like you are definitely you have that theater mentality and like
Mm,
theater teamwork mentality, and it definitely just by like just talking to you, that's where I kind of like perceive you, and where you are the you absolutely are the engineer and the creator of things, where he is the artist, and so I feel like if I came to you guys saying, hey, check this out, I love the King in Yellow, I want to make just his throne with the king sitting there and,
sure.
make this into a room and go. And I can see Joey sitting here going, all right, well, we definitely need to encapsulate the madness. We need to get the lake. We need to get the mountains. We need to get the twin moons, and we need to make that throne. And he's going to draw up that throne. And I can absolutely see you going, okay, how do we make people feel like they're going to get the madness out of this? And you're going to
Hmm.
come up with some type of be it a swirling infinity type of device where you walk underneath the throne and go into a descent into madness or of something of some sort. Like I could see you guys actually doing the instead of the you emphasize the yes and
Yeah.
mentality when it comes to theater. Like it's yes and how do we make this work? Not a no, we don't need to do this.
There's a point in almost every project
Mm,
where I go, great, I am happy with this, and it is done.
mm,
I have reached my brain's highest serotonin level, and everything beyond this, is not going to do it for me. I have to force myself. And that point actually comes before anything is painted, usually. So if I'm making, say, a giant foam creation, once it's in the real world, sanded and seamed, that's the point at which I go, great, I'm good. I have
mm,
brought this thing to life. Joey will never let a thing be done, ever. And I
100%.
love it. And I need it. And it's what I needed. And it's what drew me to him. Of like, you look at his costumes and his Reaper costume, and there's a lantern hanging here, and there's an amulet, and there's a thing, and there's battle scars, and there's all this little extra detail that when it's there, I dig it. I want it. But my brain doesn't go there. My brain goes, you've done it, it's done, great. So when I can get these structures and the initial stuff done and then go, do it.
Mm,
Um, there is uh, I teach a makeup class yearly,
mm.
and they forgot to get in touch with me this year until the last minute. And they said, "Hey, could you do this?" I said, "Yeah." And I very quickly went online and grabbed some stuff that I'm going to do for it. I've decided to do Alien Earth. Have you been watching?
Oh my God.
Okay,
We're doing an episode on it. You should come talk with us about it then.
sure,
Oh my God.
sure. Um, I'm going to try to attempt something similar to the image
Okay.
as a quick makeup, see what I can do with that. But I was looking around online and I found a very quick, somebody had made a 3D print of the chest burster.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, it's the guy at the end. It's the chest burster, and then so it's a little bit rotten. He's kind of an alien zombie, and see what I can do with that. Um, makeup is different. Makeup, I'll keep touching stuff up all day. But Joey, I just handed off to him because I 3D printed and cleaned up and the chest burster, and I'm like, Joey, I need you to paint this because that's who you are in this scheme.
I love that. I love the synergy you guys have. It's very unique, and it's very something you don't see often, especially with it in an entrepreneurial world. It realistically there's a lot of clashing, and I know Joey has had a history, and I know, from what you've been telling us, you've had a bit of a history too, where it's hurt you and burned you, and the fact that you guys were able to both be burned and still come back and go, hey, we can still do this, we can still find love and passion in things that we design, dude. Props to you. I love that, and I love that you get to see like Project Nightmare, like just kind of going back to this a little bit, is this is your baby that you guys have created. You've come and you get to see this in the world, and you get to see for the next, the rest of this month, people enjoy that. And hopefully that passion and that love and the project gets to continue to
Hmm.
next year with like Compounce, because I would love to see the like more stuff that you guys do. I am a promoter of people who do fun stuff, but I'm also so extremely selfish because I want to see all these things because I want to personally enjoy them and
Hmm.
like to get to see it be made and like, I love all these fun things that I get to personally enjoy.
You know, a level of selfishness is fine. It's what gets
Good.
stuff made. It's what gets stuff into the world. I There's a level of it, right?
Mhm.
Like if you give to charity, I don't care if you selfishly, like, you don't have to be completely neutral in that. You can make yourself feel good by giving money to people. It helps in every way. Be somewhat selfish in a good way. Bring things into the world because you want to see them. Be that selfish person.
I love that. I will continue to do that then. Like I said, we were talking earlier, Advancing Heroes Foundation. They do
Mhm,
amazing
yeah.
things, and like we do D&D, uh they do boffer, they do all sorts of dress up. They have a gala. They do and there's so many. There are artists there. There are creators there. There's this wonderful DM, and he creates his own props and stuff, and he challenges me every single time. His name is Ray, and I'm going to call him out on the show, but he just does uh, he does the Lord's work, my dude. Like he
Mhm.
does this. He's a big did last year. He did Labyrinth, and
Okay.
he dressed up as David Bowie's character. He made this huge tree. He built a labyrinth for the guys to play on,
As
and
as a tabletop.
yes, as a tabletop. Oh, dude, oh, are we about to be? We're gonna be enemies here in a sec. Oh, don't you dare take his side. No, Ray's
What?
a great guy. He is. He did. Yeah, he did it. He
No, no,
made
no,
a
no. I'm sitting
tabletop.
back
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. No, no, no.
Um,
I'm playing with you.
we,
Like
we
he just.
there was a project that we
Uh,
worked on for 2 years, 2.5 years,
uh,
during COVID.
uh,
It started life as a, like, kind of a cosplay cabaret,
love
and
that.
then that changed, and it
Uh,
became a full-fledged theater that
uh,
was going to transform depending on the event. We could do um musicals, we could do rock bands, we could do comedians,
love that.
and we were setting it up because you've got all the lighting and everything and all the fog machines and everything, that we were going to do D&D nights and have a weekly recurring, okay, we've got our props and stalactites and our lighting setups and the table is lit, and it was supposed to be, we got space in one of the dying malls in Connecticut,
Mhm.
and it got so far, and the town didn't give the money that they had promised, and it became a whole thing, and the whole thing fell apart. And to my knowledge, most of it is still sitting there untouched at the mall because it's a dying mall. And we're all just like, if the right investor, if the right person, if we found the right thing, because you've got this built in stuff. You've got your monthly games, you've got your weekly games, you've got.
We'll talk later because this sounds like a juicy fuck this thing to talk about here. Um, but like yes, like I was saying, he and I and there's all these other great GMs there, and that we come up with amazing things. We create things. Uh, I have created whole displays and dioramas and everything for my players. I make puzzles. So the stuff that you guys do is right up my alley, and I absolutely love it. And I get thrilled and excited. And then I go, I wonder if I could build this. You guys do. You guys inspire me a lot. But on a much smaller level. Um, so we're kind of get wrapping up here. So I do have some rapid fire questions here, and I think I already know
Sure.
the answer to your first one here. Just because we're kind of want to get to know you. Favorite horror movie creature design of all time?
The Thing.
The Thing from John Carpenter's The Thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Okay, that
That's Ghostbusters is I love Ghostbusters, but the Thing is of a whole other level.
it's it is really good. It was actually the first rated R movie I watched with my kid too, like for his so like that holds a special place in my heart too. Love that, right? Classy. He's like, I want to watch a rated R movie for Halloween. I want to watch Spook movie. Like, bet we're watching The Thing. Yeah, I might have gotten in trouble with that one. Uh, if you could build any prop from any video game, what would it be?
From any video game.
Yes. If you can't think of a video game, we'll move it up to movie.
No, I'm probably I would do my version of a Big Daddy suit.
Okay.
If I had a shot.
And what would you do different from a regular Big Daddy?
From the other suits that are out there,
Yeah,
um, bigger. A
always
lot of
better.
them are, I want Big Daddy. There's the human size. There's people who could do a little bit of stilts. I
Mm-hmm.
want Big Daddy not able to fit through a doorway. I
I
want.
like that.
I've seen the spinning drill. Love the spinning drill. There are things we can do now with compressed air, where
Mm.
that spinning drill you can have little mist and water spray and stuff coming off of it. Just making it. You know,
Oh, I
there are some good costumes out there though.
uh a side tangent about this. The fact kind of going off of Alien Earth and Alien Romulus here a little bit because we're seeing it a
Mhm.
lot more. Practical effects are definitely making more of an effect in coming back into Hollywood and like major like television and everything. As somebody who makes practical effects and makes practical art and animatronics and puppeteering, how does that make you feel?
Oh, I'm for it, 100%. Um, I don't the best movies, mix and match. You know, um, if it's always I hate it's a case by case basis because even in Alien Earth there are shots where I'm like, yeah, could have done without
I get that.
a few things
The
here and
the
there.
hands.
Yeah, some of the alien, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I I I love practical effects. They have their limits. I love puppetry. Some of the things that are being done with cable controls these days and um, just new materials and the 3D printing stuff where you can
Mm,
have a what used to be like, okay, we've got this. Now we do this. Now we do that. Now we do this. Now we do that. And the whole thing kind of works. But now you've designed it in a way where the whole thing works straight out the box together and you're not limited in these systems. It's it's just so cool,
I,
to be bringing the digital into the real world as well.
I love that. I love that. All right. Most terrifying, more terrifying to you personally, clowns, dolls, or tax paper, tax works, paperwork. That was
Well,
a question somebody asked.
taxes are what give me nightmares. I don't
uh,
get nightmares from the scary things. I get business nightmares.
okay. Another question that was asked for me to ask you: if Decimated Designs were transported into D&D, what monster would your workshop specialize in making?
What monster? Are you asking for because I don't know the
I don't know
D&D.
this. Okay, that's okay. I think they're trying to go with if you were transported into the D&D world. Let's phrase it like this. What do you think Decimated Designs would do in the fantasy world?
In the fantasy world. You're saying if we were in a like I'm getting pictures of Army of Darkness right now,
Let's go
and
with that. That
we're in a
works. That's okay.
blacksmith shop, and helping build animatronic hands and figuring out, what do we do with gunpowder in the fantasy world?
You're the artificers of the fantasy world. You would be
Yeah.
making all the I could definitely see you guys being like those guys that make like the flesh golems and like the
Oh
just
yeah.
like you would be doing some fun stuff, especially if it was you and Joey there. That would be terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I know he doesn't play tabletop games. I know he's not a tabletopper, but like, dude, I want him to play like a game of D&D because I just want to see like what characters he can come up with. And like, dude, if you're getting into the tabletop stuff too, I will absolutely volunteer as tribute to always
Well,
run a game for you
if you
guys.
want to get in with him, you have to you team him up with somebody who's a good DM and have him be the art that the other guy organizes, and then
I,
you're
oh yeah,
then
I
you're
love it.
out, crazy.
Yeah. So, where can the good people out in Nerd Nation find you, sir?
So decimateddesigns.com for everything.
Mhm.
On socials, we're generally get decimated. It's yeah, a little bit of a catchphrase. We a couple here and there, it is Decimated Designs on different things, but if you look up Get Decimated, usually you can find us. It's always fun when I'm saying that over the phone and spelling it out to some credit card company or something like that. Nobody knows how to decimate. We chose it because it's high in the alphabet.
Yeah,
Show up early on all. Convention A B C D. There we are. But decimated is nobody knows how to spell it.
it's all good. I mean, you know what? I can't judge you there. The amount of times I've been asked about the podcast are like, "Dad's with what? Dirty ambitions? What?" And I'm like, "No, nerdy, nerdy. We're nerds." So usually I'm like, it's like I'm from the DNA podcast. They're like, oh, and then I tell them that and it works out. So I get that. I get that. So let's go ahead and let's wrap this up on our side. As always, please like, subscribe, and follow us where you are, ever you are listening to podcasts. And if you are listening to us on Apple or Spotify, please remember to rate and review. We love them. We create them. We need them. We're always looking for them. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. So please like and follow us at DNA Pod or on our webpage, www.nerddnapod.com. I'm your host, Steve Pugh, and I have been joined by the wonderful, the amazing, the concoctioner of all things nefarious, Kyle from Decimated Designs. Sir, thank you so much for being on the show with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, and good night.
Gonna make a big move.